Hey, Mindy, thank you for that question. I grew up in Florida with an older brother, an older sister, and a younger brother. And it was a good home. It was very loving. Um, we lived in a house in a nice neighborhood. Um, I always knew that I was creative. I was always the one that was like doing like, funny stuff and outlandish stuff. And I was always trying to make people laugh. I almost, for a while, I wanted to be a comedian, um, but I was really shy. I was so shy that I wouldn't even open my mouth around anybody except my family, and I barely did that. My parents would put me in church, and I would not even make eye contact. I would not even speak. Every picture they took, like family photos, I would turn around. I wouldn't even like want to look at the camera. I was so shy. It was ridiculous. But then as I got older, I got my first guitar when I was 13, and I think that was around like 80, like seven, and that's around the time when I started to notice MTV as well. So I was really obsessed with like Welcome to the Jungle came out by Guns N' Roses and Poison, Nothing But a Good Time. Those guys were like rock stars to me. So as soon as I started playing music and Skid Row, as soon as I started playing music and I started my hormones started to kick in, then something clicked in my head, as does a lot of boys. Something clicked in my head, and I was the most rebellious kid you could ever imagine. 13 to 14 to 15 years old, I was a nightmare. I was always yelling at my mom, running away. Started smoking cigarettes when I was young. I started getting into, other things in like seventh grade. I started experimenting. I overdosed at school in seventh grade, and another time I took a bunch of substances and I OD'd as well. I woke up in the middle of the night sweating and throwing up blood, and going into my mom's bed. I remember sneaking back into my bedroom and listening to my parents argue about me, understandably. And that was up till about 15. I can tell you how it went from there, if you guys want. This is part one. So follow for more of my life.